A red planet hangs over Paris like a warning from the end of time. The world is already broken. Cities have turned into deserts, resources are almost gone, and people are no longer living with hope. They are only waiting to see how much time is left. But the strange thing is, this disaster was predicted years ago by a little boy. The film begins with young Paul telling his older brother Elliot about a dream. In that dream, Earth's resources disappear, and then a mysterious red planet appears in the sky. People start calling it the Red Moon. For 4 years, humanity uses its energy to survive, but then the same planet begins moving closer and closer to Earth. After giving humanity hope, it becomes the very thing that can destroy it. Paul also sees that only one person will be able to stop the Red Moon. But before that person can save the world, he disappears. At first, it sounds like a child's strange imagination, but years later, everything Paul saw becomes real. Paris is no longer the city it once was. It is a dry, empty wasteland. The sky looks sick, the streets are buried in dust, and above everything, the Red Moon is clearly visible. It is now so close to Earth that if nothing changes, both worlds could be destroyed. In this desert, Paul W.R. is running alone. He looks scared, tired, and completely lost. While moving through the wasteland, he keeps hearing the voice of a child inside his head telling him to keep running, not to be afraid, to destroy his fear completely. There is no child near him. The voice is coming from inside his mind. Soon, Paul reaches a settlement near one of the government's protected cities. After Earth's resources started disappearing, wars broke out everywhere. Governments built huge walled zones to protect the people they considered important, while ordinary people were left outside in poor desert settlements. And even outside the walls, the military is everywhere. They have armed soldiers, checkpoints, and small drones watching people from the sky. So when Paul enters, he stays hidden because he knows the government is looking for him. Every camera feels like an eye, every patrol like a trap, and he can feel his name closing in again. He bumps into a man who apologizes and acts friendly, and Paul asks if there is anything he can buy because he needs a vehicle. The man takes him to his place and sells him a floating car. In this future, cars do not run on normal tires anymore. They hover above the ground using power cells. During the deal, a military drone scans Paul. This is dangerous because Paul is not just some random man. Paul is the missing astronaut everyone is searching for. 4 years earlier, Paul's father, Henry, was one of the most important scientists in the world. He helped humanity use the Red Moon's energy, and for a short time, that energy became mankind's last hope. But when Henry realized the Red Moon was moving too close to Earth, he created a plan to destroy it. Probes and automatic machines were sent toward the Red Moon, but none of them could cross its powerful magnetic field. Only Paul could. For some strange reason, the field did not affect him the same way it affected everything else. That made him the only person who could reach it and complete the mission. So Henry sent his own son to destroy the Red Moon, but Paul never completed the mission. He disappeared before launch. The truth is, Paul did not want to destroy it. To him, the Red Moon was not just a dead planet. He believed it was alive, connected to him, calling him, showing him something no one else could understand. No one believed him. To the government, Paul was humanity's last weapon, and he had run away. That is why he is hiding now. After buying the vehicle, Paul leaves the settlement, but the car suddenly stops in the middle of nowhere. The traitor cheated him. The power cell is almost empty. The military drone returns to confirm his identity, so Paul pulls out a gun and shoots it down before it can send his data back to the main system. With no other choice, he pushes the damaged vehicle toward a small repair shop nearby. The shop belongs to Elma. She checks the car and says the power cell needs to be replaced. She can fix it, but it will take time. If he is lucky, maybe 3 days. Paul says he does not have 3 days. Elma tells him there is nothing she can do. This is not a small repair. In this dying world, even one working part is hard to find. While Paul waits, a news report plays. The whole world is watching the launch of the Aurora mission, a final attempt approved by the United Nations to reach the Red Moon and destroy it before it is too late. The astronaut chosen is Elliot, Paul's older brother. Since Paul disappeared, Henry has turned to Elliot as humanity's final hope. Paul watches as Aurora launches into space, and for a moment it looks like mankind might still have a chance. But as soon as Aurora reaches the Red Moon's magnetic field, everything goes wrong. Elliot loses control, the signal breaks, and the footage disappears. To the people on Earth, the last hope has vanished into the sky. No one knows if Elliot survived, and the Red Moon is still coming closer. Paul leaves the shop shaken. Outside, Elma gives him a small smiley bag before he walks away. Alone, memories from Paul's childhood return. He remembers his sick mother, and how his father believed the Red Moon's energy could save her. He remembers being different from other children, different even from Elliot. Paul could sense things before they happened. He saw visions. He heard voices. Again and again, He saw the same impossible image in his mind, a forest that should not exist anymore because most plants, trees, and animals have already disappeared from Earth. But Paul believed that forest was real. He believed the red moon was connected to it somehow. That is why when Henry decided to destroy the red moon, Paul tried to stop him. He tried to explain that destroying it might not save humanity. It might destroy the only answer they had left, but Henry did not listen. And Elliot never understood him either. To Elliot, Paul was strange, weak, and unreliable, maybe even a coward. Now, Aurora has failed, Elliot is missing, and the world has lost its last public hope. People everywhere begin accepting that the end is near. Back at the repair shop, Elma sees a news report about Paul. Only then does she realize the quiet stranger who came to her garage was Paul W.R., the missing astronaut, the one person who might still be able to stop the end of the world. Elma grabs her gun and steps outside to find him. But before she leaves, she sees her father standing there, trying to apologize for the way he treated her mother, for the violence that made her leave. Elma does not answer him. There is no time for old pain now. She turns away and heads into the wasteland, searching for Paul before the military finds him first. Elma finally finds Paul near a pile of broken vehicles. He is digging through the wrecks, hoping to find a working power cell for his car. She walks up and says she knows who he really is and that she wants to come with him. But Paul refuses. He tells her to leave and stay away from him because anyone near him will only end up in danger. Meanwhile, far out in the wasteland, two children are playing in an abandoned area when something falls from the sky. They run toward it and find a damaged pod, half buried in the dirt. Inside is a man, barely breathing. It is Elliot. He survived the failed Aurora mission. Elliot is taken back to the facility where he meets his father, Henry. Broken and ashamed, he apologizes for failing. But Henry learns something stranger. When Elliot reached the red moon's magnetic field, it changed his DNA. For several hours, his body was clinically dead, but somehow he came back. It is almost as if the red moon touched him and sent him back different. Back in the desert, Paul is still trying to repair his vehicle while Elma watches from a distance. Then soldiers arrive to capture him. Paul fights back and escapes again. That evening, Elma returns to her trailer and finds it burning. Her father has set fire to everything she owned. Elma breaks down. This was the only place she had left, but her father feels no guilt. He just stands there like her pain means nothing. The next day, Elliot arrives in the same area, searching for Paul. Someone reported seeing him there, and Elliot wants Paul captured and sent back on the mission. Elma's father is nearby, so Elliot questions him. But Elliot is not the same man who left Earth. After returning from the Red Moon, something inside him has changed. He can enter people's minds, expose their guilt, and force them to act against themselves. He can slip into someone's head, pull their shame to the surface, and make them feel it, like a sentence. When he questions Elma's father, he sees the cruelty and violence inside him. And because the man has no useful information, Elliot uses his power to punish him. He forces Elma's father to turn the gun on himself. Elma sees her father die and screams in horror. Paul, still nearby, uses the chaos to steal a power cell from Elliot's vehicle. Then, when he sees Elma running in panic, he cannot leave her behind. He pulls her into the car and drives away. Elma begs him to take her with him. She says it will help him because a man traveling alone will attract attention. But with her, people might think they are just ordinary travelers, maybe even family. Paul hates it, but he knows she is right, so he lets her stay. Elma says she is running to find her mother, who left years ago because of her abusive father. But this is not the full truth. Later, Elma admits she does not even know where her mother is, or if she is even alive. She also confesses that she once betrayed Paul because of the reward on his head. She thought turning him in could buy her a way out, a clean reset, a different life. But after traveling with him, she starts seeing him differently. Paul is no longer just a wanted man to her. He becomes someone she actually wants to help. Paul has his own destination. He wants to find the forest from his childhood visions, even though almost all trees and animals have disappeared from Earth. They reach a military checkpoint. Paul knows his face is everywhere, so Elma drives. She stays calm, acts normal, smiles at the right moments, and somehow gets them through. After that, they arrive at an old diner where Paul makes an important call using an old wired telephone. He calls Henry. Paul tries one last time to explain what he believes. The red moon is not just a threat, it is connected to the balance of life on Earth. But Henry refuses to listen. To Henry, there is only one solution. Paul must come back and destroy it. Soldiers arrive to capture him. One wears a heavy metal combat suit, making him almost impossible to beat. He attacks Paul brutally, and for a moment it looks like Paul has no chance. Elma distracts the soldier just long enough for Paul to strike him in the head, and they escape again. Elma is shaken, breathing hard, realizing this is not a game. She understands how dangerous Paul's world really is, but they are still being tracked. Elliot has sent a small spider-like robot after them, and through that machine, he can follow their location. On the road, Paul tells Elma more about his past. He started seeing the future as a child. He tried to warn his father, but Henry never believed him. No matter what Paul saw, everyone treated him like he was strange or unstable. To keep him hidden, Elma changes Paul's hair color. Meanwhile, Elliot reaches the diner and questions the woman who owns the place. While searching her mind, he finds her dark secret. She had killed her husband. To Elliot, that is enough. He forces her to take her own life right in front of him, then continues hunting Paul. Paul and Elma drive toward a violent storm filled with dust and lightning. Paul realizes someone is still following them and spots the spider robot hidden inside the car. He destroys it. With the tracker gone, Elliot loses their location. They drive into the storm and take shelter inside an abandoned building, an old theater. A holographic display shows images from the old world, animals that no longer exist, forests, green landscapes, oceans, and pieces of earth from a time before everything died. Both of them are moved, like they are watching a ghost of the planet they were born on. Elma asks Paul if he has ever seen rain. Paul says yes, once. He still remembers the sound, peaceful, soft, almost unreal. Then Paul sees something that shocks him, a forest, the same forest he has seen in his dreams since childhood. For years, Paul believed it was real. He thought finding it would prove he was not crazy and that the red moon was showing him something important. But now it looks like the forest was only part of an old recording. That breaks him. For the first time, Paul doubts everything. Maybe the visions were just dreams. Maybe his father was right. Maybe he ran away from the mission for nothing. Elma tries to comfort him, but Paul snaps at her. He is angry, afraid, and lost. A little later, Elliot arrives with soldiers. Elma warns Paul, and they form a desperate plan. Paul pretends to take Elma hostage and walks out with her, hoping it will confuse Elliot long enough for them to escape. But Elliot sees through it. He attacks without mercy, and Elma is badly wounded. Paul grabs her and runs while Elliot keeps chasing them. Even wounded, Elma modifies the vehicle, making it fly higher. But Elliot crashes into them and sends both vehicles down. Paul and Elliot face each other in the wreckage. Elliot uses his power to break Paul's mind and force him to take his own life. Paul struggles, hearing Elliot's voice inside his head. But at the same time, he hears Elma too. Her voice pulls him back. At the last moment, Paul fights through Elliot's control and kills him. Afterward, Paul carries Elma to a safe place. She is badly injured, but alive. Paul leaves her with his childhood drawing book, filled with the visions he saw long before they happened. When the soldiers arrive, Paul finally stops running. He surrenders. Paul is taken back to Henry. This time, he agrees to go on the mission, but he makes one condition first. Elma must be treated. Henry accepts. A few days later, Paul sits alone inside the rocket and launches toward the red moon. When Elma begins to recover, she finds Paul's drawing book inside her jacket. As she looks through it, she realizes his visions were not random. The book shows pieces of his whole life, including events that already happened and moments still unfolding. In the sky, Paul's rocket moves closer to the red moon. Paul believes the planet is part of Earth's natural balance. When humans tried to exploit it, it reacted. When humans damaged it and tried to destroy it, the planet moved closer, almost like it was defending itself. Now Paul enters the red moon's magnetic field, carrying the last nuclear warheads. Everyone on Earth believes he is going to finish the mission and destroy the planet. But Paul finally understands the truth. The red moon was reacting to humanity. So Paul makes his final choice. He changes course. Instead of firing, he takes manual control, cuts communication, and destroys his own rocket in space. Paul sacrifices himself without harming the red moon. Down on Earth, Elma watches the explosion and breaks down. But then something impossible happens. The red moon slowly starts moving away from Earth. Paul was right. By refusing to attack it, he finally stops the cycle. His sacrifice saves the world. Near the end, Elma looks again at Paul's drawing book and finds one final image. It shows her standing in the rain. She holds the pages like proof he was never crazy, only early, and the sky finally answers in real time. A few moments later, rain begins to fall. For the first time in years, Earth feels alive again. And that is where the film ends.